difficulties.
We were live once. I wish we would have just kept it. Wait, we got it, I think.
Let me see here. Try to refresh.
Yeah, there we are.
I don't see myself.
We're up. We're live, it says.
I don't see myself. I don't see any comments. Refreshing, nothing.
Hey, we got comments. Say hi.
Hello, everybody. Can anybody see me? Because I cannot see myself on here.
Agnes, Katie, Shella.
I'm not getting anything on my end. Should I close down and then reload?
Refresh that one, yeah.
Okay. Hello, hello, everybody.
I'm from Sweden.
Hello, everyone. All right, so I have live here. There I am. Yay! Figured it out. Whoa.
You gotta turn the volume down.
Okay. Hello, hello, everybody. Mute myself.
Volume.
Hello, everyone.
There we go.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Well, almost noon.
Technological struggles. Thanks for being here, everyone.
Hello
It's
from the
been
UK.
A long time.
It has been such a long time, and we are super stoked to be here. We
Can you
have
do some shout outs? Like, who's all here? Because I saw there's a
let me
bunch of
see.
people.
We got
Yeah.
Alexis from the UK, and
Hey, Alexis.
Lenore. Hey there. Amriani. Oh my God. Hi. We're so excited to be here. Agnes. Hello, hello. Katie, Rundell. It's okay. We can see you. I'm glad you guys can see me. For a second there, I was a little nervous because we were having technical difficulties.
For way too long.
Chip Douglas. What up, dude?
Chip, buddy. How you doing, man?
Matsberg. Hi from Sweden. Laura. Hello. Helen. All right.
Well, my name is Scott, and this is Kelsey. This is Piercing with Scott page. But basically what we're going to do is we're just going to talk piercings for the next couple of hours.
Yeah.
And I know the one question that you all have is, where the heck have you guys been? Oh my gosh.
We
you know what?
have been
Busy.
setting up the new studio.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been so crazy. I've been logging in every single day. I don't remember the last time I had a day off. Today's technically my day off, and here I am talking more piercings.
Today's my day
in
off.
my blood.
And I'm actually spending it off. Kind of. I mean, I wouldn't consider this work. This is way more fun for me than
So much
anything.
fun.
So, yeah, yesterday we, Scott and I, we were like, let's jump on a live.
Yeah.
So we did. Cheers.
Cheers to everyone. Cheers. So, here's the deal. We're moving our studio. Our shop has been closed down for almost a month. I think a month to the day.
Yep.
And tomorrow's our magic day. Tomorrow's the day we get inspected, and hopefully we get the thumbs up and we can open back up. So hopefully in the next day, our goal is Friday the 13th, we're going to be able to be back open.
Yeah, so final inspection is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
At like 7 in the morning. So hopefully we will be making our big announcement that Piercing Vegas is having a reopening Friday the 13th. So
Oh my gosh, the shop
Yeah.
looks so amazing.
it
you
looks
guys.
so good.
amazing.
And Scott took a super rad video last night so that we can kind of go on a shop tour so that everybody can see what we've been working so hard on.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go over there and we're going to switch. We're going to show you the shop. We're going to talk through this. It's about a 3.5 minute video. So let's move on to that.
I'm going to say hi to a couple more people. We got
Please.
a couple more people on here. Bill, hi from Maine. Ernie, we see you. Ernie said, you're alive. Woohoo. Scott, long time no see from Talia. The Salem Witches, hello from Scotland.
All right.
Wow. AKA, you are back. We are back, and we are in like full-blown action. Can't wait to show you guys the new studio, and I cannot wait to open. I can't wait to get back to work. It's been so crazy for the last month, just like not touching anybody. I'm like touch starved. Yeah, I'm piercer starved.
All right, Kelsey, switch over. Let's get to this.
All
Back
right,
to your comments
so
in just a minute.
oops, on the drive.
All right.
And we are doing the full screen here. All right, so I'm going to press play once Scott
play.
gets back over here. So hit and play. So welcome to the new and improved Piercing Vegas. Not open yet, but soon. Hopefully the next day.
Yeah, so we got whole front lobby, and we're kind of trying to turn it into a museum. As you see, a bunch of super old jewelry, super cool historic pictures.
Masks from all over the world.
Yeah, like Ethiopian lip plates and septum tusks. And I want to get this here real quick because when you're in a studio, don't touch or change your jewelry. It's like picking your boogers and wiping on things. It's really gross, so just keep your hands off. But let's move on into the jewelry room. Check this out.
Cue angelic lighting.
This was so much work. You guys have no idea. So as you can see, it's a similar setup, but we have higher ceilings, much more room. These cases fit in here perfectly. We've got a lot of jewelry to look at. As we're going through this, we got clickers down there. And up there on the left, you'll see a little jewelry room. But first, check this out. That's our gold. We got Tawapa and Maya, Ember, body gems, tons of stuff. A lot of safe products there. And we do have 3 piercing rooms too. Here, even more gold jewelry. We have lots and lots of options.
Genuine diamonds for, the bougie.
That's right.
The bougie that we have.
So, and then we got 3 piercing rooms. This one's going to be my piercing room.
Scott's
I'm going to hang up a picture yet, but it's pretty much done at this point. But nice big rooms, MBO autoclaves, foot-controlled sinks. That's me. I couldn't help myself. I see a mirror.
I see a mirror. I'm like, hello.
And then this next room, we have Dez's room. We have not met Dez, but room number 2. She did such a killer job at decorating the shop.
So
look at that. Old school flash. And I don't know if you can tell her or not, but she is a Rob Zombie fan.
Huge Rob Zombie fan.
Huge. But damn, she did a good job.
Yeah.
Looks so good. There's me again. And then let's go on to Kelsey's room, a little
down the hallway. Lots of cool art.
A lot of Tom and Jackie Strom and Brandon Holt. And then Kelsey's room number 3. You can see this here.
I have my dream pink piercing room. I know I've been talking about it for a couple years now.
Hand-controlled sink, or foot-controlled, I should say. Look at that big pink wall.
Woo.
I can't believe I painted a room in my place pink like that. Why let Kelsey do it? Yeah.
He loves it.
So then we go back out here, and the area I'm going to show you next, I think, is going to be the jewelry. No, we have more jewelry. This is all our naval stuff, Leroy and Adametal, bunch of stuff. Then we got a bunch of basic standard push pin, threadless jewelry. I'm drawing blanks words.
Good.
This is our jewelry room. This is where we set up for your piercing. You say, hey, I want a naval piercing. We come in here and we get the needle, the supplies, the tools we need, the jewelry, and we walk it over to the piercing room and sterilize it in the room. As we go back, hey, I painted that picture. I do have some artistic ability. Here we got our bathroom. It's our bee bathroom. I'm not stuttering.
Little beehive.
Yeah.
We have yet to paint it, but we thought, you know what? Let's see what it looks like without it being painted. And I think
that's the toilet. I want to show you the toilet. And then that comes back to my office. Everyone, I have an office. I have an office.
It's a really big office.
It's pretty nice.
Deserves it. He worked very hard.
It's a closet. We're setting this up for a photo booth. You get little lights here. We're going to have flash in there, so we're going to have consistent, easy place to take pictures. Every shop should have one of those.
I'm going to bring a Polaroid in because I want a Polaroid wall in my piercing room with all of my clients. We've got our dirty room.
Yeah.
So this is where we would process and sterilize all of our tools if we're using tools. We do a lot of disposable stuff as well, but yeah, it's looking great.
Right.
Super stoked.
We need to go to camera.
Going back to our live here. All right. We got lots of comments so far. Stella G says, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing a video of your new studio. Hope you liked it. Is it okay for me to put a horseshoe bar in my nostril piercing and if the piercing is fully healed?
And the questions begin. Let's
yeah, so I mean, circular barbell or a horseshoe style bar I've seen in nostrils. I mean, it's a very similar shape to just wearing any other hoop. It just definitely looks different and it looks a little bit bigger, but I mean, circular barbells in a nostril look freaking rad to me. So
my only 2 cents is there's a lot of movement in the area, just like if you put a circular barbell
and you can get it caught.
You're going to get caught, and it's probably going to come unthreaded, and you have to check it once in a while. That'd be the only thing. And a lot of times the circular barbells come in 16 gauge or larger. You can get 18 gauge but you might have to stretch it to get that circular in there.
Ernie says, wow, it's looking so good. Stella G, so pretty. What the heck?
Woo-hoo. Thank you so much.
Yeah, wait, you changed buildings. That's awesome. Where are you located now? So we moved from, if you're familiar with Las Vegas, we moved from Trop and Eastern to now Sunset and Pecos. It is a way nicer area. We're now on the first floor. So that was the only negative about the old studio was we were located upstairs and we had no handicap accessible. Luckily, it was never really too much of an issue. But yeah, now
a couple people, and that really bothered me. So it was a little issue. So we're on the first floor again.
Exactly.
I didn't think it was gonna be that.
We
big
have like
of
a
deal.
storefront, and it's like all glass, and you can see it. It's it looks so good. Beautiful.
And we have a display
in there.
window, one whole window that's just like, like the old school, like if you went to a Dayton's and they got mannequins in there posing. We're going to get mannequins, we're going to pierce them up and put a TV in there and show a bunch of inappropriate pictures. No, we're going to keep it
I want to get pierced by both of you so bad. Well, you should come and visit. We would love to pierce you. That would be so fun. Chops. The shop looks awesome. Glad to see you guys back. We are so glad to be back. It feels good to be back. Again, we've been like
hiccups, I think.
Yeah. Laura Ahern. Sorry if I said that wrong. What a fabulous new shop. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
And you know what else is coming up? APP convention.
APP is coming up, and we figured
around
like perfect timing because we're just going to hop right back into working, and then we're taking another couple days off to attend APP classes.
It's so important. We got to do it.
Super stoked.
But our doors are going to be open for a week, and then we get to take a break again.
I mean, most of us are still going to be working. Like Thursday, I think, is the only day that I have off.
Yeah.
But then I'll be working Friday and then Saturday, Sunday.
But we're still getting our classes in there. And we also got to make our presence known. We got to come say hi to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you see us at APP and you're a piercer, or even not a piercer, come say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're friendly.
Yeah.
We don't bite hard.
Katie Rundell looks amazing. So excited to see you. Josie, can curved bars be used in snake bites? No, I would not recommend curved barbells unless you have a vertical piercing. Otherwise, I would not wear them in there. One, it would just feel weird. Two, you would probably, no. I just wouldn't.
It's gonna move around too much.
Yeah.
It's gonna change the angles, and I also want to address something else on snake bites. People have been changing the terminology on snake bites, and it's really been bothering me. So I need to address it.
What is it?
Snake bites are on your lips. It's been that way for decades. Now
50
people are saying,
years.
"Oh, I want snake bites," which are 2 piercings on the ear. You're wrong. I'll say it right to your face. Whoever's starting this, stop it. If you want to come up with a new name for 2 piercings, come up with something new. Don't rename something the same name that's already been used. It's a bad idea. Like
It'll confuse everybody.
Yeah.
And then
come in and like, I want to get snake bites, and you start cleaning their lip. Like, what the hell are you doing? Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I
Snake
do.
bites.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy. I can't believe they're changing the names on things. So
Chip Douglas, the new shop looks amazing. Congrats. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
buddy. Can't wait to show it to you.
Elliot, nice. I'm not, but I will find y'all when we come there eventually. Perfect.
please.
Flumpus Dumpus is here. Flumpus Dumpus, what are your favorite options and combos for nice quality and unique or funky looking jewelry? I hope that makes sense. Options and combos for... funky jewelry.
I got 2 cents here. One thing that has kind of been forgotten over the years is circular barbells. They're a ring with the 2 beads on there, but the beads can act like a captive bead ring where you can take an extra bead or a gem, so it looks like you have 3 beads going across. I haven't seen that in a long, long time, but it's really nice. If you are having problems with your circular barbell in your septum and you keep losing beads, once you put that pressure in there, it stops that bead from spinning and keeps it in.
The last time I put a combo like that in someone was a navel, and that was back when I was at the piercing shop.
Yeah,
that was years ago. But it looks really cool. So yeah, circular barbell with the 2 beads and then 1 little gem in the middle. Boop.
Yep.
So it makes like a full circular ring.
That's a fun combo. Another fun, funky combo, which I like and I haven't seen much. One of my old apprentices used to wear saddles in his ears, but what he did is he turned the saddles upside down, That way, there's a little spot in the middle here where you could wear hangers off there, so you can wear saddles with the hangers. It looks phenomenal. It looks like it's supposed to be that way. And
I've never seen that. I'll have to try it. I have a ton of saddles.
Here we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ooh, jewelry combo.
And the other combos, funky combos. It's just about the colors and the style. Do you want big gems, small gems, spikes, beads, discs, gold, titanium?
Yeah.
There's so many options.
I personally like the stacked ring look in navels. So like belly button piercing. And then if it's like, you could stretch it a little bit, but you can just take a bunch of little 16 gauge rings and put them in there. Des has hers like that, I think.
Super cute.
Mm-hmm. That always looks super cool.
I can't believe we finally got live.
I know.
I've been trying for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes trying to get this to go live. It says we're live. We're not live. And I'll send us back to him like, this is it. We got it.
Mattsburg, more cake to Scott. We always want more cake.
More cake. Yeah. See if I get my knuckles the right way where you can read them.
And we've got Pirelli in. Hey, dude. Hey, guys. Any chance of being open by this weekend? I go on a trip Monday and was hoping to change jewelry beforehand. No worries if not. Love y'all. So like we have been explaining, final inspection is Thursday. So tomorrow, we are hoping to be open by Friday the 13th. So we do actually have a wait list of clients that we have to call back first to see if we can fill them into slots, put them in where we need to reschedule them. And then after that, we will be making an announcement that books are open, and you'll want to try to snag whatever position you can, because we've got a pretty good wait list of people.
We should get through it fairly quick.
Yeah.
It should only be a day or two. But we were planning on opening earlier, and then we had to reschedule, and we felt bad. So we told everyone we would call them. So we will call you.
Yeah. Elliot J. Hey there. Nice to see you again. Good to see you.
Hey, guys.
We got Salem Witches. What type of bar do you recommend to put in a vertical helix? So vertical helixes are, the helix that goes straight up and down.
Sometimes you wear a spike and it looks like it's pointing straight up.
You can wear a spike and a bead. I personally have, so it's a threadless librette, so it has a flat, teeny tiny little flat back on the inside. And then I have a bead on top, and I actually have basically like an old nostril chain that I put in the one side, and then around the other put the top on so the chain dangles down with a little dagger on it. So there's a lot of different things that you can put in that. Lots of different jewelry options, combos. Some people can even wear a D ring. I used to wear a D ring in mine, so it looked like I had a ring in my helix. But because it's not pierced straight back into the ear and it's pierced straight in, if you put a ring in that, you have to imagine that ring is going to sit like this on the ear rather than around the ear. So D ring works really well.
I also want to say, don't go too big on this one. This is not a good one to really stretch out. A lot of times the ridge of the ear is fairly thin. There's not much to grab a hold of. So if you put something too thick, the chance of it rejecting gets kind of high. So I would stick to something 16 gauge, maybe 14 max, unless you really have a good shelf up there that you can support it.
Exactly.
But yeah, a nice snug barbell works really good. Also, you have gravity in your favor, so the bar would hang down. So if you wanted some sort of like a bead on the top and maybe some chains or hidden helix kind of thing, kind of coming down from there's a lot of stuff you can do.
Oh yeah, hidden helix jewelry, duh.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Oh, okay. So Pirelli said I should be on the wait list. I made an appointment with Kelsey a week ago, but it obviously had to be rescheduled. Yes, awesome. So then we will be giving you a call for when it is time for us to schedule.
But like we said, we're not calling anyone until we get the 100% approval, because I don't want to reschedule and then reschedule people again.
Exactly.
I don't see why we'd fail, but
Yeah. And then we've got Talia again. Will you guys be accepting walk-ins, or will you be appointment only? Oh, appointment only all day. Since, any studio that I've ever worked in has always been walk-in, and like I used to love the fast pace and just like quick. But now that I'm used to being appointment only, I love the fact that I can sit with you for a half hour and like have all of my attention to one individual at a time, one person, one piercing at a time. It just feels way better. It feels a lot more personable, slowed down, and like I actually remember you. I remember your face. I remember your name. Like if you want to tell me your life story, I actually have time with people, and it has really it's changed the way that I'm kind of programmed in a way. I used to just be so like fast paced. Like I just want to like get my day over and done with as quick as I can. But now I'm like, wow, where did the last 10 years go? And I'm realizing like it just feels so much better. So appointment only, just I mean, being able to spend time with you.
With walk-ins,
Yeah.
but we're a high volume shop to where if we did allow walk-ins, they could sometimes it's like a 4 or 5 hour wait because the people, it gets so long, and then there's a lot of pressure to move faster, and then when you start moving faster, that's when mistakes are kind of made. So
mistakes are
so
made.
if you're a real high volume shop, appointments is the answer. But if you're only doing like 5 or 10 piercings a day and you can afford to do the walk-ins, people want to come in and get it done but it's nothing more frustrating going in and saying, yeah, you take walk-ins, yeah, you can be sitting here for 6 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the last studios I worked at, we would have a sheet of paper that we would leave at the front desk, and you would just come in and write your name down. I'd call you up. We'd go over what you want. I'd sterilize jewelry quick. I would get you marked and pierced. Then you'd be out the door. Literally like 5-minute process. And then you just don't remember people's names.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks.
It's an experience. Let's make it an experience. Did something happen? Why?
Because I'm frozen on here. Let me refresh real quick.
And let us know in the comments if, do you know where you're at?
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
We good? Okay.
Yep. Cool.
My computer
okay.
froze.
Sorry. Woo, we got frozen for a second. Let it go.
Man, Vegas is getting hot.
It is.
I mean, it's always been hot here in the summer, but we have reached summer. It's in the hundreds. Is it? It's been over 100, hasn't it?
Yeah, yesterday was like 109, I think.
Yeah, it felt warm.
It felt pretty toasty. All right, we got Angela in here. Generally, do you think a helix piercing is a rougher heel than a conch or rook, given easier to get pulled on or snagged? Thanks.
I get one. I'm going to say, in general, the conch and rook should be an easier heel than a normal helix unless you get pierced with a ring on either of those two piercings.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with a curved barbell or a nice stud that fits properly in the conch or a rook, it's going to heal so much better because it's protected. You know, your ear's kind of like a bulb and the jewelry's on the inside. So if you were sleeping on, which we don't suggest you do, if you were, it's more protected than the helix, which just gets twisted and contorted, and it's rough. Yeah. So everyone always thinks it's like, oh, I'm not getting a conch, I'm just going to get a basic helix, that'll be better. And it's like, it's actually a longer, rougher heel. So
way rougher.
Yeah.
Way more rough.
But the most important thing is get what you want.
Yeah.
If you're not happy.
And generally, as long as you don't sleep on that side, then you should be perfectly fine to heal. I mean, I've seen helixes heal within, you know, the 4 to 6 month mark, but then other people's take like 2 to 3 years if they even heal. It really just depends on the person. Make sure you're not sleeping on it and you're taking care of it properly, and you have some good, nice, smooth jewelry in there. Should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally
piercing
should be
pillows
easy.
really work well.
Yeah, they do.
They really do.
And then we've got, where did I go?
I generally highlight it, so if it scoots around that way, you don't. Yeah. Normally we have someone behind the counter. I got someone in line, but I've been so busy with building the shop out that I haven't been able to do anything. So I'm going to be hitting him up soon, and hopefully we can be. And
we got Flumpus Dumpus with another question.
Flumpus Dumpus.
What inspired both of you to become piercers? What makes you still want to do it every day? Ooh, that's a really good question. For me, what inspired me to become a piercer? So when I was a kid, like I've already kind of gone over the story, but my Aunt Bonnie came home. My grandparents were watching me and my brothers. My Aunt Bonnie came home and she had a tongue piercing, and I was just like, oh my God, that is so cool. I want to get my tongue pierced so bad. And then my grandma stuck little gems all over me like the following weekend. And she was like, you can put these little stickers on, but you can't get them in real life. And then I told my grandpa even, I want to get one on my nose. And he's like, how do you blow your nose with those things in there? You know, it's like, so that's what kind of inspired me to want to get piercings. After that, it was just kind of like a downward thing. I started seeing more people with piercings and stretched ears and tattoos, and I just thought to myself, like, oh, I can't wait to look like that one day, you know? And growing up, I always asked for my birthday or like holidays, like, can I get this pierced, you know? And my mom would be like, sure, when you're 16. Waited until I was 16. Never took me to get it. So I was like, you know what? Well, I mean, even then I was like, okay, for my 13th birthday, I can get my nose pierced. No, we'll wait until your next birthday. And I was like, you know what? I just want to do it myself. And then my mom was like, cool, you want to do it? Here's a thumbtack. I dare you. And I did it. Pierced my own nose. We do not recommend that at all. It was awful.
Or as a parent, don't dare your kids.
No, don't dare your kids to do that.
Because if you're someone like us, it's going to get done. Yeah.
In my opinion, since becoming a professional piercer, when you come of age, like the legal age in the state of Nevada is 14. Our shop policy is 16 and older for anything that isn't earlobes. So when you come of age, it's always awesome when I see parents bring their kids in because, one, it's a bonding experience. Two, if they earned it in some way, shape, or form, or, it's just a gift or whatever, it just makes them the happiest kid on the planet. I wish my mom was a lot more involved in my love for body art, because I feel like I would accept her being proud of me now more had she actually been more supportive of it. But she wasn't at all growing up. But not trauma dumping today. That's what kind of got me into it. Becoming a piercer, I just thought to myself, this is just something that I have a love for. I love the way that it looks. I love how happy it makes me to get these piercings. Once I turned 18, I went balls to the wall. I got everything done. Finally got my tongue pierced. A bunch of stuff on my ears, my cheeks, my septum, all sorts of stuff. And then I thought, you know what, this is something that I would love to turn into a career. And I actually moved out here to Las Vegas and ran into my mentor, the person that became my mentor, and apprenticed for 2.5 years. And I've loved it ever since. And my favorite thing about being a piercer now is being the person that little me would look at and be like, that's exactly who I wanted to be. That's who I wanted to be. That's amazing. And it feels great because I do go to work every single day not feeling like I'm working. I feel like I'm going and I'm hanging out with my friends and my family, and I'm doing the things that I love.
I'm just paying you. You have to work if you come to work.
I get paid to work, it feels really good. Anyways, so I don't know what Scott's favorite thing is or what inspired him.
What inspired, I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s. So every rocker, and I was a rocker as a kid. I loved my rock and roll. They all had their ears pierced.
And eyebrow piercings, or not yet?
No, not at all. Not at all. It was just earlobes, and it was just big hoops and stuff. And I wanted so bad from a young age. And my dad was like, no son of mine's getting his ears pierced. He grew up being an all-state athlete.
Yeah.
He's just, that mentality is completely opposite.
My mom was totally blonde cheerleader.
So every year I asked my dad, I'm like, Dad, can I get my ear pierced? Nope, you're not getting your ear pierced. No. And I mean, I probably from 10 years old on or something. So it was a lot. And I asked him all the time. And on my 18th birthday, my dad brought me to Claire's to get my ears pierced. He's like, I'm going to take you out for dinner or whatever for your birthday. And I was like, cool. I'm like, that's weird. Mom's not coming with us, but So we go out to dinner, and he's like, I figured we'd just kind of go to the mall. There's something I want to, and he kind of surprised me. And we walked up to Claire's, and I was just like,
Dad,
really?
Dad points.
And he's like, yeah, you get your ear pierced. I figured if you're going to do it, might as well join, da-da-da. So I was looked up, and I was like, it's the same price for two of them. And he just kind of went, oh no, So I got two of my left ear, and I got fully addicted right away. My dad was never a big supporter of the piercings, but I will say that 2 days ago, I was talking to my dad, and he said how proud he was of me for accomplishing getting the shop done. He didn't think I had it in me, the amount of work, all the construction, all the, running a shop and having employees. He's just like, I'm so proud of you. I never really, and I was just,
wow.
It really hit home. It was
really
cool.
Stop, I'm going to cry.
No crying. But yeah, I love my parents to death. They helped me out, get the shop to where it's neat. They don't have any piercings, but they love me and they know my passion for it, and they support me 100% with it. So
I feel like that's what happens with parents is once they realize
it's not just a phase.
It's not a phase. It's not a phase. Yeah. This is something that you genuinely love and care for, and I feel that even just as a parent, if my kids are into something, the best thing you can do is be supportive. I didn't really have very much like support with the love that I have for the body art that I do until I earned an apprenticeship. Once I got into my apprenticeship, then my mom was like, okay, I know you're going to do this for the rest of your life. And then I pierced her nostril like that weekend after I became, well, not after I became, but once I started piercing people. It was like 6 months and I was able to start piercing people. And yeah, my first inside out nostril was on my mother, and I'll never forget. It was the most terrifying moment of my life. Full on, like full blown hyperventilating, panic attack, crying. And she was like, you're either going to do this or I'm going to go home right now. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll just do it. No and I did it, and she still has it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, so that was a really good question. I love that. I love talking about, you know, how I started and like where I'm at. And I feel like that's one of the most important things is like looking at little you. If you ran into little you, how would they feel about who you are today? I feel like that's super important.
So many people are afraid of the future.
Yeah.
And the future has changed. You can't
Changes all the
avoid
time.
that. Just go with it. And if it's something you're passionate and something you love to do, stick with it. You know, like for a while there, I was sleeping out of my car. For a while there, I was working in really crappy shops, but it's just like I paid my dues. I did all the classes, and if you're passionate, it will work out.
Yeah,
it will.
We've got a question from Josie here. Could someone be pierced with have a septum piercing? Can someone be pierced, a septum piercing, with a steel pincher? We don't really recommend piercing with the pinchers. No. You know, they slide in and out. Even if you put O-rings, one on each side, like sure, it's a lot less likely to come out. But if you were to be pierced with a retainer or a pincher or something like that, I would recommend flipping it up while you sleep or just while it heals in general. But pinchers, in my opinion, are like a decorative piece. It's not something that you would wear all the time.
The amount of problems you're going to have far exceed the
extent of it being able to heal properly. I mean, it can eventually heal properly. It's just pain in the ass.
Tapered. So if it spins a little bit,
it just slides right out.
And your piercing is going to try to close around it because it's still new. And then you got to stretch it back up. So if you're constantly stretching it, big, small, it's going to really cause a lot of bumps, problems, and you're not going to be happy. If you're worried about it being more hidden, get pierced with a retainer and tuck it up, or a circular barbell, have it opened up wide enough where you can tuck that in. No one can see it, and then you can wear whatever you want once you're healed. Don't get pierced with a pincher. I was gonna say
exactly.
Don't get pierced with a clicker either.
Yeah,
don't. Seam's the same thing. That little seam grabs a hold of and stuff. Hey, cheers to you.
Oh yeah, cheers everyone.
One more thing.
One more.
We love all you guys. Yeah. And if you love us, hit the click button. Hit the like button. The click button.
Hit the click button. Click the click button.
Click the like button.
Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. Yeah.
We haven't done this in a while.
We haven't done it in a while. I'm like,
physical labor.
We're just having fun with it today.
Yeah.
Just having fun with it today. We got Agnes. I would love to get a coin slot eventually, and I was wondering what's your advice on the aftercare? What's the pain level, and what else to expect? Sending hugs from Italy. Italy. Hello.
Hi.
So I mean, as far as coin slots go, obviously that is not something that we do because we are piercers, not modification artists. I would recommend, if it is something that you are genuinely wanting to do, I would do your research on artists out there. Typically it is illegal in the US, and I'm probably thinking all other, states and countries. But just do your research on artists. Obviously it's an underground thing. Just do your research. Make sure it's somebody that, has a really good, I guess, trail of just work and aftercare and everything. As far as aftercare goes, you're going to treat it like a piercing. So, keep it clean and leave it alone. We don't really recommend getting it wet because obviously you're going to have sutures in there. When sutures get wet, they loosen up and they can fall out, and then it can cause a lot of excess scar tissue sensitivity, exposing that open wound. Yeah. I mean, that's really all the advice I have on it. Find someone reputable to do it, though. Don't just go to anybody, whether it's like cheaper or not, you know, it's in like a safe space. So, yeah.
Cartilage is not really a repairable thing.
No. Once
So if
it's
it
gone,
gets
it's
botched
pretty
and
much
bad,
gone.
It's done. So.
Yeah. And then we got Angus. How long is the healing of a rook piercing and how prone to bumps is that location? It really just depends on the person. Again, rook piercings can take anywhere between 6 months to a full year to heal for the most part. Sometimes they can take even a little bit longer. Generally, any sort of cartilage piercing is going to take about that year mark to heal like 100% fully. You know when a piercing is healed fully. Just because you're moving it and you're not feeling any pain doesn't mean that it's fully healed. It's probably still super swollen, you know, within 6 to 8 weeks to 4 to 6 months, which is usually what we recommend as far as the length time before downsizing the jewelry, 8 to 12 weeks ish. So yeah, just keep them clean, leave them alone. Eventually they do heal. Make sure it's a side that you don't sleep on, because again, the side that you sleep on, it's going to take a lot longer to heal. So
be nice to your piercings, but any cartilage expects 6 months to a year minimum. Mm-hmm. People are always like, oh, it's healed in like 3 weeks. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's physically impossible for that to happen. It may not hurt and you may not have many crusties, but you're not healed.
Burnt spaghetti.
How do you burn spaghetti? You can burn the sauce, but if the noodles are in the water, can you burn noodles or do they just get too soggy?
I think if you left them in there for too long, once all the water evaporates,
and I suppose it could technically burn.
Burnt spaghetti.
Love the name. Love the name.
Is it okay for a labret ring to be a little bit big? Mine isn't snug to my lip. It also moves side to side a bit, and my lip is pierced right on the edge, but I'm not sure.
100%.
Remember my name, by the way, Scott? Do you remember burnt spaghetti?
Burnt spaghetti.
Yeah. Obviously, he loves it. Whether he remembers it or not.
I didn't remember it, but I do, yeah. Lips are not round like a ring is. Okay, so your lip is kind of like a big U, upside down U. And if you're putting a round ring in there, it might stick out a little tiny bit. It might be a little bit high. It kind of depends on the angle it's pierced and the thickness of your lip to see how snug you're going to get. You're never going to have someone who has a perfectly symmetrically round lip where it fits perfectly. If it fits that snug and that perfect, it's probably too tight. Mm-hmm. So you will have a little bit of looseness, a little bit of loose. If it's flopping around and it bothers you, you can probably go to one size smaller. A lot of people think that like, oh, this is the one size. It's like pants. Everyone has a different size. There's different widths. There's different lengths. There's different everything. And the thing is you got to find the size that fits you. There isn't one size like this is a lip jewelry. Might be someone's lip jewelry, but not everyone's lip jewelry. You talking on the phone too? We're both just texting right now. Des is talking to me too, and I was just like,
I know. I'm like, no, I was getting messages like, has the live been called? Like, have you guys called it quits on live? I'm like, no, we're live.
We're live
right now.
Questions.
Questions. All right. Which piercing tends to leave more permanent scars, eyebrow or snake bites? That's a good question. I would probably say eyebrows. If you have any sort of migration or rejection, those would scar a lot worse than snake bites. I mean, I have snake bite scars. I don't know if you can see them at all.
A little bit, not much. I have snake bite scars, but mine were stretched to 6
I've never had eyebrow scars. But you can see where Scott's recent ones were. But those were pierced real thick. Like, thick.
Fairly large.
Thick. Like 6 gauge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had my eyebrows pierced maybe about a dozen times on each side. Mm-hmm. Most of them have been minimum of 14 gauge. So my eyes are pretty scarred. But the thing is I have a little bushier eyebrows. They're starting to get a little thinner as I get a little older. But if you have bushier eyebrows, the hair will cover up that scar. Bushier. And as far as the lip piercing goes, like if I had facial hair that grew in here, I don't shave this. This is totally natural. I'm a weirdo. But anyways, yeah, if you put it there, it's like there might be more visible. It kind of depends. If you have a pouty lip and there's a shadow, it's going to hide it better. If you have more flat lips, you're going to see it better. Some people scar really good. Some people scar
scar
really
tissue
bad.
on the inside, but that's also from like messing with them while they're healing and like biting on the jewelry or just like taking them out and then shoving them back in. Not recommended at all. Always go somewhere and get a taper used or put smaller jewelry in. I have so much scarring.
So I hate
my lower
saying
lip.
this, but if you're really, really worried about the scars and leaving something, they're all going to leave a scar. You probably shouldn't have the piercing. I'm all for piercings, but they're probably not forever. Probably not. You know, we rearrange stuff. You know, I might not have the eyebrows. I might move to anti-eyebrows or more nostril piercing, more nose piercings. That's what I need.
Yeah.
But anyways, if you're really that worried about the scars and it's going to bother you, don't get it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Scarring is going to happen with piercings. We got Henrique. Took out my 3+ year industrial piercing because it was almost rejecting on the helix, but the forward helix is totally fine. How long do I have before it closes up? Don't have money for new jewelry right now. I mean, I guess that it's kind of a complex question. Are you wanting to keep the helix, like the forward helix piercing, or just retiring in general?
If it's rejecting, it's going to keep rejecting. So
Yeah.
your best bet is to take it out so it doesn't leave a huge scar.
Exactly.
The
You may
longer-
not have the anatomy for it if it rejected out like that. So
Or it might have not have been pierced deep
Yeah.
enough too. So you got to talk to a piercer, but if you're getting it re-pierced, it needs to completely close. So a minimum of a month, possibly a couple months before you get that re-pierced.
we have burnt spaghetti here. A girl at my school actually gives people piercings, but I'd be too scared.
You should
Don't
be.
get pierced by your friends at school. It's not something that we would ever really recommend. I mean, you know, coming from a background that was like that, like you really, and now being a professional, you look at it and you're like, God, I can't believe I was that person. I can't believe I ever did that. I can't believe I thought I knew everything, you know, and it's like, you just cringe at that kind of stuff. Like being a professional now, it's like, oh, I like the one thing that I would do to younger me is probably like, I don't know, whoop my own
here's
butt
the
and then be
deal.
like, wait until you get your apprenticeship because it'll come.
There has been medical professionals who have gotten in trouble for reusing needles, dirty things, and giving a bunch of people diseases, hepatitis, all kinds of things, and that those people went to jail. It's kind of the same thing for people piercing people. If it's a felony because it's public endangerment, if you don't have the proper sterilization tools, the aseptic technique, you can give people diseases and not permanently, but ruin their lives. You know, there's a reason we have to be licensed. There's a reason we have to be inspected. There's a reason for all of these things. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. Now, I'm pretty sure all of you have seen needle and thread, but how many would give yourself stitches if you had a little cut on your hand? Or do you just go to the doctor? Go to the piercer.
Go to the piercer.
That was a good one. I like that one. All right. Next
Yeah.
question.
Sorry, I'm reading through. There's
know,
not necessarily an
tough.
argument going on, but just back and forth on like piercing with a needle or a piercing gun.
Piercing guns can't be
there's literally
sterilized, so if you're
professional
really into
piercer.
hepatitis, get pierced with a piercing
I
gun.
wouldn't know if nose massive. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Sorry, it's really hard for me to read through the comments when you guys are going back and forth with not useful information.
You're not going to win saying piercing guns are right here.
Yeah.
We
Oh
are
well,
a
no one's
one-sided
saying
thing.
no one's
Okay.
saying piercing guns are right. It's just they're going back and forth on like somebody pierces at school and they pierced it with this and that and
We're about public safety. If you're not about public safety and you're piercing people at school, please leave the channel. We are not here to teach you how to pierce. We're here to give proper information. If
Yes.
you're going to try to take that information and make it illegal, we're not interested in teaching you. That is not what this channel's about. This is about being safe and having healthy, clean piercings and getting things done the right way.
yeah. Okay. I'm curious what you take on piercing prices what piercing prices are these days. In about 2006, general price was $40, likely non-APP, and now are 200 Canadian for a piercing. That's kind of a lot. I mean, I'm not really sure how the Canadian and the US dollar really work, but $200 is kind of a lot, whether you're APP or not. Just because you're APP doesn't make you better than anybody else. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. We attend the APP and we are in the process of becoming APP certified. So not anything against it, but I feel like there's a general like people misconstrue like the definition of someone who's APP versus non-APP. There are APP members out there who are brand new piercers who like didn't really have the greatest apprenticeship, who maybe shouldn't even be piercing people.
And there's fantastic
I
piercers who've been doing it forever.
Yes,
who are not
APP. Like take Scott, for example, 30 plus years of experience, generally a great piercer, knows what he's doing. He has all the knowledge. We all make mistakes being human. I'm not going to sit here and say, Scott's the best piercer in the world. But I will sit here and say he's better than majority of the piercers that are here in Las Vegas. But with that being said, just because someone is APP does not make them better than anybody and does not give them the right to ask for more money because they're APP. That's not cool. That's like an elitist act. And that we have a lot of issues with elitists in the industry and, all sorts of stuff. And it's like, when generally you're just like any other piercer that's out there. I'm sorry. But
so okay, here's another thing.
Prices.
There are piercers out there who go fully disposable and they will mark things up because they're throwing away things.
Right.
We reuse a lot of our tools. Not like it's dirty, it's hospital sterilization. It gets processed, decontaminated, ultrasonic cleaner, scrubbed, surgical milk, run through the autoclave package date, so forth, and then we run spore tests on everything. So it's done the proper way. But if we're throwing all those tools away, some people mark things up like, oh, I needed a clamp. It's going to be an extra $15 for that. Oh, you want to use this? It's an extra $15. So it will raise the price that way.
Right.
Some people are using sterile gloves. If you're using sterile gloves are, what is it, like $5, $6 a pair of gloves in itself? So that's what they pay. So they're going to make profit on it. So they're going to mark that up on top of it.
So it really just depends on, I guess, where you would go. If you went somewhere that's fully disposable, as well as like they're trying to be completely sterile when it comes to the piercings, then I can kind of understand that $200 price. But it really depends.
If you're getting gold.
If you're getting gold, or if it's that just like a base price for titanium. So, I mean, for us, our piercing fee is what, $35 to $45.
Yeah.
And that's average. On average, and that's not including jewelry. But with basic jewelry, for like a nostril piercing and a little gem, you're looking at about between $65 and $85. It really just kind of depends on the jewelry you choose.
All right, my time here is I've been doing it 32 years. When I first started piercings, on average in the mid 90s, roughly 50 for a ring or 60 for something with a stud. And this was with steel. So this is a lower grade, lower quality metal in general. Now, also at that time, gas was barely over $1 for a gallon of gas. Now it's $4 to $5 for a gallon of gas, and the piercing fees are $75 to $100. So thank God it didn't raise like most of the other inflation. I think in general, piercings should be more money because of the way everything else went up and ours didn't. But that's part of the thing is the prices are raising up because businesses, the cost of things, there's a lot involved. So I wouldn't be that shocked if a piercing was close to $100. You're getting a quality piercing, but if you're not getting gold, special gems, things like that, and it's over $200, that's excessive to me.
Yeah.
And then here's another thing for all you who go get your nails done. If you go get fancy nails, what is that? $60, maybe even up to $100, and it lasts a couple weeks.
So for fingers and toes, it was like $170 without tip.
Yeah. And you're complaining about a $70 piercing fee for something that's like going to be safe and biocompatible and last years and years and years.
People, when it comes to people and their bodies and general health, like people's minds are ass backwards.
Yeah. But
like you'll spend, however much money on new clothes every couple of weeks, but like to get a piercing with high quality jewelry that's going to last and be done properly, they're like, oh, I'm just going to go somewhere where it's $5.
I just go to a
and deal with the infection.
Get free T-shirts.
Right.
I love Neomed.
I love Neomed. Someone said, "Who's that handsome fella on the right?"
Who said that?
I'm not really sure what the name is. I'm not sure if that is Chinese or.
Oh. Hi.
Hello. Let's see. I had my piercings done over 6 months ago, and they still have a ways to go with healing. Waiting for a conch hoop. Woohoo! It'll come.
Awesome.
Just be patient. Patience is a virtue when it comes to healing your piercings. It's so much more worth it to just wait until it's fully healed, even if it takes 4 to 5 years to be able to wear that hoop comfortably and not have any sort of issues with it. Because you switch it out too soon, you'll have nothing but problems.
Hey, Kelsey?
Yes.
If you were sitting on like the other side of the table and watching this, would you hit the like button or the subscribe button?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. I'm just checking. Just checking.
Because I feel like this is pretty fun.
This is pretty fun.
Hanging out with friends, drinking coffee.
A high five is like hitting the like button.
Yeah.
God, we're weird.
Natasha Gallivan, do you require a glass retainer if you are going for a day surgery under general anesthesia?
In general, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The reason being, and I hate scaring people this way, but anesthesia, sometimes people have allergic reactions, and if it did stop the heart, they need to use those electric paddles, defibrillator. I can never say the word. Defibrillator? The D word, yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyways, and if there's metal around there, supposedly it can arc the electricity to not get your heart or possibly burn a hole in where the piercing was. I've never seen a burnt piercing from one of those things. I don't know if I believe it. If you're a medical professional and you've seen this, let me know. Mm-hmm. I really want to see pictures too. I want to see like a burnt eyebrow piercing or a burnt nipple or something. That'd be kind of crazy. I don't know if I want to see that, but proof would be nice. But I think that's the main reason why they're going to say that. Also, if you're getting a surgery around your face and you have a nose piercing, that could fall into place. And then they're probably not going to allow you to have anything there because the retainer could fall out the same way. So it's not about hiding it from the surgeon. It's about safety.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. I had a client who was getting a lip lift, like a lip lift or something, and they couldn't have any jewelry in the face, not even retainers. So it's just the risk of it, like, falling in or falling out and then being a problem. Yeah.
Lip lifts are a thing?
Oh yeah, I want one where they take like a W shape of tissue out from under and then they lift it so that like your teeth are a little bit more exposed. That's what I want it really bad. Okay.
Something new every day.
Jack's
you might not
40.
be able to do that in the future though.
How can I stop the outside of my nostrils from swelling? After being pierced, even with a stud, like a keloid. Okay, so just a little general information here. 9 times out of 10, the bump that is on your piercing during that healing process is not a keloid. It is an irritation or a piercing bump. There is a medical term for it, but because we are not medical professionals, we don't really use that term. But basically, it's a little bit of scarring that is happening during that healing process because your body's kind of freaking out. Like, okay, there's this foreign object in me, and I'm going to try to do anything and everything I can to push it out. The less you do, the better for these little bumps, okay? They love moisture. They love when you clean them. They love when you do all these things. They stick around. Best thing to do is dry heal. Obviously, clean your piercing at least once or twice a day. Wash your face like normal. Avoid any sort of makeups, oils, lotions. Emu oil is a really big thing also. It rejuvenates those skin cells and it helps calm that piercing bump down. So what you want to do is keep that area calm. The more you do, the more you stimulate that area, the more you're irritating it, the more you're helping your body fight against this piece of jewelry. So I see here that somebody did comment in response to Jax to use tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is not something at all that we would ever recommend. Tea tree oil, if not diluted properly, can actually strip the paint off of a car. So it's not something that I would really recommend to put on your face or anywhere ever. Like on your skin ever. It's what is it? It's an oil.
There's a whole bunch
an
of
essential oil. And essential oils, you're not really supposed to like soak into your skin. It's actually kind of toxic for you. Tea tree oil alone, again, if not diluted properly, can have a lot of negative things on, like, when it comes to your body.
See, the thing is a lot of people say, oh, it's antibacterial. You know what else is antibacterial? Soap.
Soap.
So you have stomach problems. Do you eat soap?
No. Don't put it in your body at all.
Yeah.
Also, on top of that, on the subject of antibacterials, when you are using something that's an antibacterial, like antibacterial soaps or
you see
whatever.
That?
Oh,
That's the back of my neck. Is it better?
Oh, it's so much better.
You know what happened? Yesterday I put on some emu oil and it feels better. I stopped messing with it.
Yeah.
You stop messing with it and it starts getting better. That
was literally yesterday.
It was not happy.
And it's almost gone today. You have a tiny bit of a scab on there, but that's the thing about these little bumps.
You take a picture of it so we show them?
Mm-hmm. Once it scabs, cool thing about these bumps is that once you see that scabbing process, that's when that little thing is going to dry up and fall off. That's what it looks like right now.
Already way better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Emu oil is magic. At any rate, so when it comes to the piercing bumps, best thing you can do is keep it clean and leave it alone. Like, less is better. The more attention you bring to this bump, the more your body's going to try to fight against it. So just keep it simple, keep it clean, leave it alone. Try to get your hands on some emu oil. Do not use tea tree oil. Whatever you do, please do not. Antibacterials are not good. So your body needs the good bacteria in order to heal a piercing. Sure, get rid of the bad bacteria, but when you use antibacterial stuff, you're getting rid of both the good and the bad. And now what is your body is producing more white blood cells to like heal this. Mm-hmm. So you're killing those off. And you don't want to do that.
You know why I have the bump, Kelsey? I'm guessing it's 100% stress.
Probably.
You know, with all the shop and keeping my employees, you know, not piercing people and it's just trying to get the shop open, it's just been nonstop stress. So I think that's why I have it. The fact that it's getting better and I know that we're going to be open up, it's feeling better right away.
Yeah.
My point is if you have bumps on your nose and you're worried about the bumps and you're worried about the bumps and you're worried about the bumps, you're stressing yourself out and you're making it worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just leave it be and forget
clean,
about
leave it alone.
It'll go away.
Keep calm.
Yeah.
Keep calm. Party on.
Peace.
But not too hard because you want to heal your piercing.
Yeah.
Burnt spaghetti. I want to rewrite my comment here because I can't edit, but my username in reference to Robot from Five Nights at Freddy's for people who are wondering why my username is weird. Okay, cool. Shun the Gun from AKA Teensy. Yes, shun the gun.
Shun the gun.
No guns, no piercing guns. The one that called you handsome said, "Tell him, Scotty Hottie." Oh my goodness. Yeah. Somebody's got a crush on Scotty boy. We got Pirelli back. Speaking of being safe, mad respect to Kelsey. I came beginning of May to replace my piercings, and instead of taking my money, she said I should wait as they still needed a little bit more time to heal. I mean, I love money, and I would love to take your money.
Pirelli, you owe us money, buddy.
Yes. No, better to be safe. Better to be safe. Absolutely. Jax, I've been piercing myself over 20 years and I still ask for help sometimes. Are you a professional or are you just somebody piercing yourself? Because we don't recommend it. And then
if you've never been pierced by a professional, I highly recommend at least trying it. Yeah. You know, it's one thing to kind of like, a lot of people are do-it-yourselfers, and I don't condone it for that. Again, you don't give yourself stitches. You know, it's like, I have a wart on my arm, I'm going to just take a razor blade and cut it off. All those things are bad ideas. But the thing is like, this is an experience. You're getting pampered. Like, I like to go in and get my beard and my head, the hot wax or the hot towel, and you know, and that's what piercing sometimes is. Going in, having someone take care of you, knowing it's done right. The stresses, it's less painful, and it just works out better because we're getting the right angles and jewelry. So,
and also, you know, not at all to make you feel attacked or, you know, bad or anything. But even piercing yourself at home is wrong. Even though you've been piercing yourself for 20 years, you're still asking questions about why is it that you're getting piercing bumps on your nose, no matter how many times you pierce it. That right there just kind of goes to show that you don't know much enough about piercings to really be piercing. So just be careful. It could be the quality of jewelry that you're putting into these piercings that you're doing. You know, you could be reusing the needle over and over and over again, and that alone can cause excess trauma. Yeah. So I would maybe just seek professionalism when it comes to that. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you're asking questions to kind of better your knowledge and everything. But if it is something that, you know, you really want to get into, then I would seek out, you know, a professional, someone reputable for an apprenticeship. Because if it's something that you have a love for, then, I mean, go for it. But I will sit here all day long and say I don't condone piercing at home. So even if it's been for 20 years, you don't know what you're doing, unfortunately.
And if you're taking that knowledge from 20 years ago, it's outdated.
It's way outdated. Yeah.
And another fun thing to do is maybe look up needles, like using needles over and over or reusing needles. You'll see pictures under a microscope. After one use, the tip starts barbing, and after 2 or 3, it's completely unusable. But the thing is with that little tiny bit of a barb, that's going to change the angle, the outcome of your piercing, and it's causing extra trauma on the inside of that healing channel. So, yeah, go get it done right.
Okay.
We love you guys.
Yeah, we do.
That's why we're here for you.
Okay, and then I guess that comment would also go to the Salem witches. I do pierce all of my family and friends because I have just finished my apprenticeship as a body piercer, and I have my own studio in my backyard. Not really sure where you're located and like what the standards are, but that is something out here in Las Vegas that we would look at and be like, I'm calling the health department. I'm getting you shut down right now.
And again, it's a felony, public endangerment.
It is public endangerment.
Figure this out.
Yeah. So if it is something that you are taking seriously and that you have gained professionally, I would work in a studio and not in a shed in your backyard. It's not the same thing. Do you have running water in your little studio? Do you have a Statum? Do you have an autoclave? Do you have disposable everything? Are you reusing things on people? Are
you being inspected by the board of health to make sure that things are clean and safe? Exactly.
No. So sorry, but I don't really support that. Sorry.
Nope.
I'm currently pierced. This is from Charlie. I'm currently pierced with a 16 gauge septum, and I'm interested in stretching to a 14. I want to do this as safely as possible. What is the best and safest way to approach stretching?
Push.
No, little bit of spit goes a long way. I'm just kidding. No, don't do that. That would be gross.
My first question is, how long has it been pierced?
Mm-hmm. Typically, we ask you to wait for something freshly pierced, 6 to 8 weeks to 3 to 6 months. It really kind of depends on the person, the jewelry that you have in, if you still have swelling, irritation, or a little bit more of a healing process to go through. Typically, we want you to be fully healed before you start your stretching journey. But when it comes down to stretching, always going by each size, using something that's nice and smooth, like a taper. You never really just want to take like a blunt piece of jewelry and just dead stretch from a 16 to a 14. It's not very comfortable. So tapering in each piece of jewelry every 6 to 8 weeks is what we would recommend.
2 cents here.
2 cents in.
Sometimes septums are the easiest of the stretching ones.
Sometimes 16
she
to 14.
Don't do blunt objects, but if you have a 14 gauge ring and you're able to take yours out and the other one just falls into place, you're not doing damage.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're just like, you're pushing, you can't quite get it, it's not ready, and then you need that tool. But sometimes after a shower or in the shower, your jewelry's so loose, it just kind of falls into place.
Yes.
And back to what Kelsey was saying, it does take 6 to 8 weeks on average to heal. I tell people a minimum of 3 months before we stretch, because 6 to 8 weeks to heal, and then once that tuberous scar tissue, the fistula, is fully healed, it needs to relax and loosen up. I haven't said this word yet.
Fistula.
Fistula. So that's wait about 3 months. If you've had it longer, it's probably just going to go naturally on its own. The other thing is when you got it pierced, if it was really painful to get pierced, that means they hit cartilage, and it's going to be a pain in the butt to try to stretch that. It can be done, but it's going to be very, very painful. If the piercing was done and it didn't hurt very much, but it made your eyes water a lot, it's going to stretch super, super easy. And once you get to the 6 gauge, 4 gauge, that's when it starts getting a little bit trickier. You're giggling about something. Here we go.
You just got proposed to.
Did I just get proposed to?
Scott, can we get married?
Wow, a blind proposal. I don't know.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I'm really flattered. I've never been married before. I'm close though, apparently.
Scott, please tell Kelsey she doesn't need surgery. She keeps telling me that she wants stuff done.
You know, the thing is once you're in our industry, the modification industry, it's so fun to change and alter, and we almost get addicted to it to a certain degree. You know, you can only get so many ear piercings before, like, oh, maybe I need my nose pierced. And then after the nose, like, maybe you need an eyebrow, and maybe move on to the nipples, and moving on to the genital. And it's the same thing with body mods. I mean, it's so easy.
I had a feeling. It's John.
Yeah.
John's the one on here.
He's the one giving you a hard time?
Yeah, you said it's me.
It's me.
That's my boyfriend.
Mario.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just thought it was funny. I was like, I kind of have a feeling because nobody else really calls me Kelso.
It's kind of funny because you can see in your face, I'm like, something's going on over there. You're so readable.
Sorry.
All right.
Okay, and then Natasha Gallivan with the $200 thing. $200 was for a single tongue ring with a downsize in titanium.
Pretty expensive.
That is pretty expensive, even with like an anatometal barbell or something. I'm not really sure where they're getting their jewelry from or how much they're upselling their jewelry for, but that is pretty, you know, cheeks and tongue piercings can be a little bit more on the expensive side, but even with basic jewelry, a tongue piercing at our studio is what, $70?
70, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and
you do
then
a set of nipples for what, 125? Somewhere around there.
And that's with anatometal jewelry.
And 2 barbells, yeah.
Yeah, and that's I feel like that's a lot.
Cascade.
Yeah, or with Cascade.
We use Cascade barbells and labrettes. We love you, Cascade jewelry. If you're a piercer, check out Cascade Jewelry. Those guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe that guy. It might be a one-man team. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm not love sure. Cascade. Love Anatometal. Love all the jewelry companies we're using right now. But Cascade, it's a small company that's just kicking
booty.
Ass. I was going to say
ass.
I was going to say booty, but it's like it deserves ass. God.
Sorry. Okay. AKA Teen C, what do you recommend for properly cleaning your own jewelry at home? I mean, you can get those little denture what are they called? Not sonograms.
Denture cleaner, ultrasonic cleaner?
Ultrasonic cleaner. Like, they're like little denture ones that you can get on Amazon, and they're great for jewelry. Basically, you put that in there, turn it on, it shakes all the stuff out.
It vibrates inside the water and shoots ultrasonic waves, and all of the little debris and stuff that might be under a gem is going to kind of shake out of there. If you have cheap jewelry, and it might shake it loose, and you might have gems come loose, so you got to use it with quality jewelry. The other thing people use is going to be just regular, like an old toothbrush, and you get in there with soap and water and just kind of clean it that way.
I do the toothbrush thing. Little baby toothbrush.
Never. This is so important. Do not use hydrogen peroxide.
Oh gosh, especially on titanium. Well, titanium and gold. It can tarnish gold and brass and stuff like that. But with titanium,
change the color and it does not look good.
It turns it into like a mucky brown, like it's been buried and then brought back to life type zombie jewelry.
See, here's the thing: you're getting the dirt and debris off of it. You're not sterilizing it. You don't need to have it sterile for a healed piercing if it's your own jewelry. We just want our own jewelry to look good. So if your gem doesn't have the bright luster and sparkle and get all the stuff from underneath it so the light can go through that gem and it sparkles again. That's all we're trying to do is make it look pretty. And then if you have gold, a solid gold, you're gonna have to buff up that gold once in a while because it's not gonna keep the same luster. You can buy little gold polishing cloths. Sometimes the non-whitening toothpaste, you can use that and that'll buff it right up too. But in general, don't overdo it. You don't have to sterilize jewelry. We're just keeping it looking good.
Yep.
You and your boyfriend is talking on the phone. You know we're on camera right now.
I know. We got Sunflower 666.
What a great name.
Hail Satan. I'm just kidding. No. Okay. I want to get a 4-point industrial. Do you pierce everything at once or 2 at a time? One, that would depend on your anatomy. Industrials are 100% anatomy dependent. You may or may not be able to get this. It really just depends on what you're wanting to do. Are you wanting to do like a cross point? Are you wanting to do 2 side by side? You want to do 1 vertical, 1 horizontal? All sorts of different options for this kind of piercing. I
did a 4-point one time once with 1 barbell, and it went from helix to the rook to the doff and then curved back out down through the conch.
Sick.
And he healed it.
Sick. You know, like that trident piercing, like the trident piercing that you did. I have updated photos of that. Perfect. Healed it perfectly. It looks so great. I can't wait.
But 2 separate industrials. Are you talking 1 industrial with 1 bar? Or are you talking 2 different bars with, in my opinion, if you're going to do 1 giant bar, it kind of needs to be healed up in 1, or someone who has to be really good at bending jewelry to make it fit properly so it does sit in there. It's tricky.
Yep.
We would have to see, and I would do a full-on consultation with your piercer on that one.
Yeah. When you can't find a friend, hi, I'm late to the
Hello.
stream. I just stretched my lobes to 9 millimeters between 0 and 00, I think. So that would be is that a 1 gauge? No, that's 2 to 0. What size would that be? 9 millimeter. Yeah, right between.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Good to have you here. You're not late. We're late for posting, man. We have not posted in so long, and I feel guilty about that.
Box of
be your mom.
chocolates. I don't mind
chocolate.
investing in piercings, but how do you feel about people being charged premium prices from non-APP shops, though? Again, realistically speaking, as far as there being prices, it really depends on where you go. There are like really bad shops out here that charge a lot. And they're putting like garbage jewelry in people. It's really up to them. You know, it's up to the studio how much they want to charge. For us, we want to be realistic. We want to be able to cater to everyone. You know, we want our prices. Obviously, we're not cheap because we use high quality stuff, but we're not going to put those like crazy high prices on things because then we can't cater to people who don't have a lot of money in their bank accounts right now. You know, it's we want to be for everyone.
I'll tell you this.
Someone being non-APP and charging premium prices, it doesn't matter if you're APP or not. If you're not that good or just...
We're about to become an APP shop.
But our prices are not going to change. We're going to stay the same.
It's the same. It's the same. It should be the same. Just because you're an APP doesn't mean you can mark up your prices.
No.
If you do, shame on you.
Yes. Like, seriously,
I'll say that
shame
to your
on
face.
you.
Shame
You
on
should...
you. Charge what's appropriate and what's right. We have
People
our
who
rent,
join the
we have
APP
electricity, we have insurance, we have all these things. We have to pay those bills. But it's like, oh, if I become an APP member, I can double my price or raise it. No, you can't.
That's not cool. That's not
cool.
fair. It's not... Like, just because you're APP doesn't mean that you're better than everybody else. That's the problem in the industry is, you know, people become APP and they automatically think that because they have this certification that they're better than everybody out there when I could pierce circles around you.
Way back in the day, Coca-Cola put out this special can or bottle or whatever it was, and it had a tattoo art design on the outside. Mm-hmm. This tattoo artist got really, really famous for a short amount of time and immediately started charging $400 or $500 an hour to get tattooed by him. And he'd only been doing it for like a year or two, and he wasn't that good. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like taking like a name and just raising your price. Charge what's right, make people happy, and they're going to keep coming back to you.
Right.
That's the way this works.
No.
Premium prices. I've been piercing for 32 years. I charge $45 for a piercing fee on average, plus the cost of the jewelry. You know, I'm paying my bills. We're not getting rich. We're in it for the love of the game, not to get rich.
Yeah.
Some of us are out here to get rich, and I'm not a fan of those people.
Yeah, no, you're doing it all for the wrong reasons. You're not doing it because, you know, I don't know. I just feel like being in this industry, like it's, some people look at it and they're like, oh, I'm a piercer. I'm so cool. Or I'm a tattoo artist. I'm so cool. I'm way cooler. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody wants to be me. But I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
Humble yourself.
Mm-hmm.
This is like when it comes to body art, you're doing it because it makes people happy. Like, I just don't understand like the mindset behind it of like becoming that rock star when it's like you're doing it all for the wrong reasons. If you're doing it because of how much money you make, like I could be making $10 an hour and be happy doing what I'm doing because I just love what I'm doing. I don't know.
It's a weird thing because like party is like, I want to do this because it makes me feel good. So then it's selfish. But if I'm doing it because it makes you feel good and me making you feel good makes me feel good, makes it right.
Yep.
We're getting deep.
We're getting deep. We need to get to the next
question.
question.
Thank you so much.
Again, we're not against the APP, but we are against like the elitistness of it. Like just the...
Next question.
Yeah. Okay. Janiel Danson, please. I have a 2-gauge punch nostrils and have been unable to find any form of glass or crystal plug with a short enough wearable area without getting customized.
Gorilla Glass. Gorilla Glass Studios, when you order your glass, you can order it in 5 different lengths.
Ooh,
Okay.
fancy.
I'm pretty sure maybe it's 3. It's skinny, medium, and extra.
Oh, yeah,
long.
there's XL.
Yeah. And you
Okay.
can order it in single flare, double flare. You can get all kinds. But go onto Gorilla Glass Body Jewelry, whatever their website is, and you're going to see that they have many sizes and many options. You probably can't order directly through them, but then if you found a Gorilla Glass dealer, they can order what you need. But it does exist. It's tricky. Yeah, my nostrils, I'm lucky that I have a standard wearing surface, which is 5/16 of an inch. So any normal plugs that I have would fit inside there. As far as the stone goes, like when I'm wearing stone, or these ones are silicone, but the stone ones have to have a little groove or O-ring on the inside. So if you're doing that, that's going to hold the little O-ring on the inside. You're not going to get a double flare through there that easy. And then if you're not getting the ones where it has the groove on there, they typically go a little longer so you have room for the O-ring, which means it's going to push into your septum.
Yep.
Once you figure it out, you're golden. You'll know your size, you'll know what to get, and you get a lot of options.
Exactly.
But yeah. The only other option is get a single flare and wear it from the inside out, where you have a big piece sticking out and you have a disc on the inside of your nose. Might be kind of chunky in there, but yeah. Yeah.
We've got a quiet guy in here saying, how are Scott's forward nostrils doing? They're doing great.
Really good. Really good. It got a little sore last 2-3 weeks ago. You got a little red, and I just put a little emu oil on, and a day or two later it was back to normal. But my forward nostrils healed up really good. It took over a year before I could wear a ring in there. After I wore the ring, after about 4 or 5 months, I think we stretched them up to the 16 gauge. And I'm about ready to go to the 14 gauge next. So, but they're doing really good. But you have to wait a long time before you can wear rings and forward nostrils.
Yeah.
That was my ultimate goal. I made it. Now it's time to stretch these things out.
Yes. Chip Douglas, I'm super pumped for conference. I can't believe it's less than 2 weeks from now. Are you guys going to the closing party? Not going to the closing party. You know, we went last year. It was cool. Just not for me. I'm not really into lots of people being around and it being really loud like that, not being able to talk to each other. And I mean, it was cool, you know, and then like the dinner and everything. But I thought like, oh, we were going to get like a meal or something. But like they give you these little spoonfuls of appetizers, whatever.
For those of you who are on the APP committee doing this, bring it back to what it used to be.
Right.
Okay, now.
And now this year there's no opening party. And for me, that kind of killed it for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Like there are so many traditions that are now being taken away. And I'm just like, are we trying to make conference boring? Or like, and then on top of that, shortening class times, like, I don't know what's going on because now we're trying to fit in even more classes than we can handle. I don't know.
So here's my deal on the closing party, Chip. They bring in a DJ. They put it in a small room. It's super, super loud. A lot of people are being disrespectful and smoking right inside there, vaping all over the place. People are trying to give awards and no one's being quiet anymore because it's a big dance hall party thing. You're paying premium prices for all this food. And I remember getting like raw carrots and raw celery and maybe a tomato. That was about it. It was just like, why did I pay this much money? And then you go to the banquet to hear it and you can't hear anything.
Like you have to
left upset.
Yeah, for us we were like, wow, we should have gone to dinner before we came here because they give you little finger foods. They give you like a little thing of like appetizers. You don't want to take too much like because you want everybody else to get food as well. And it's just, you know, and it caters to mostly vegetarian, vegan. There was like one option that wasn't vegetarian, vegan. And it was like a little shish kebab on a Q-tip, on a toothpick, where it was a piece of shrimp and a piece of steak. And it's like, yeah, it tasted good, but I needed like
100 of them.
6 of them to feel like I had eaten
100.
something. You know, it's just
the way it used to be. Everyone used to get dressed up. And everyone was assigned at a table. There wasn't a DJ, and they had a separate dance after the whole thing. They did their announcements. People were all dressed up, and it was fun taking pictures and just having a fancy
There was a cool
dinner.
theme. You know, I remember, I think the last cool one was where it was like the theme was gold, like dripping in gold. And everybody was, it was fantastic. It was so cool. But then after that, it was not fun anymore. I don't really know what's going on. APP is starting to be something that it's not, or that it wasn't, or that it used to be, I guess, you know. It's not what it used to be.
They need to focus on classes And if it's a banquet, it should be a nice fancy thing, not a rave-esque dance thing where everyone's being disrespectful. And if you're going to these things and we're giving away awards and stuff and you're a piercer, be quiet. Let's give respect to the people who earned these rewards.
Right.
It's just so disrespectful. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I love seeing everyone there. I love taking the classes. I wish the classes were longer. Again, they keep shortening them, and they keep saying, oh, it's so everyone can take everything in. No, you shouldn't be able to get everything in.
Well, now they're just compiling so many classes. And then, like, now looking at, like, this year looking at, like, the classes that I wanted to take versus the classes that I wanted to retake that I haven't taken for a couple of years, they're at the same time. And it's like, you have to, because there's so many classes compiled into one day, you have to then pick between, do I want to take this one more or do I want to take this one more? I guess I could take this one next year because I want to retake this one. I don't know.
It's confusing.
They're just squishing together times.
Anyways, we will be there. Yeah. Not going to probably be at the last party thing.
Yeah. So, but we're still going to be there. I can't wait to see everybody. We'll be around. We're going to be taking all the classes that we possibly can. We'll be around to show everybody the new studio.
Next question. We're talking a little too much.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Okay.
And we're here for them to answer questions, and we've talked for an hour straight.
Sorry, I think it's the coffee. Yeah. When you can't find a friend, I lost my nipple piercings after surgery. They wouldn't let me keep any jewelry, and that's a bummer. Sometimes that happens.
It does.
And then we've got Digit K. Hiya. I got a Prince Albert piercing at an 8 gauge yesterday. Putting on the rubber chicken is a pain in the butt every time I need to pee. Do you have any advice for making it easier?
When you're done bleeding, you don't have to wear the rubber chicken. Yeah. What we're talking about is a lot of times once you get a Prince Albert, the tissue is going to loosen up really quick, and there's a lot of blood flow to that area, so you can bleed quite a bit, sometimes as much as a finger or two worth of blood, which can be pretty scary for a lot of guys, for anyone actually. But the thing is like trying to get it on there, and then you use a little gauze to wrap around, and then you pull the glove over the top, and then you got to put a rubber band to kind of try to hold it, but you don't want to put the rubber band on too tight.
You don't want it to fall off. That would be bad.
That'd be bad.
Waste of money.
Yeah.
First of all.
It's only a couple days. If you're done bleeding, you don't have to wear it anymore. That's kind of the situation. It's not easy.
I would keep standing up like to a minimum. I usually recommend after getting like any sort of genital work done, especially for men, just taking it easy. Relax, take the day off to kind of chill.
Just wondering how to get the glove on. That's the main question, isn't it?
Or how do you pain in the ass every time I have to pee? Do you have any advice on making it easier?
Yeah, you got to put the glove on, and otherwise bleed through your clothes.
Yeah.
That's all it is just stopping the blood from coming through. So
yeah.
Cool. Next question.
Yeah.
We need to move faster so other people
I'm trying to move faster, so I'm just reading through some things.
We're reading questions.
Sorry.
Not just reading to ourselves.
Yeah.
Remember, they can't hear your thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nick, I have 2 tragus piercings on the side ear. However, the top one still gets angry. It should be healed by now, but at times looks bruised, told to eventually downsize, but I wouldn't be able to get to a smaller size.
You said a double tragus on one side?
Double tragus.
Sometimes the upper tragus there's a weird muscle where I know it's like when people raise their eyebrows, sometimes you see the bar move up and down, so there's a little bit more movement in the upper area. But once you downsize, once the swelling's gone down, it should start getting a little bit better for you. But it's pretty common to be a little bit more problematic on the top one than the bottom one. Mm-hmm. In my experience. I did a triple tragus on a guy one time when we raised his eyebrow. We had 3 rings in there. Eventually, the top ring would just raise. It was pretty fun. Pretty fun.
Hi, Farah. Yeah, Farrah Stockett in here. Can't wait until you guys open again. I need a curate. Also got permanent vampire fangs and my chest piece finished. So I'm super stoked to see that.
One of our regulars.
Yeah, heck yeah. Quick question. I have a tragus piercing from July 2024. Still leaks. It has the same jewelry in it from when it was pierced. Could it be infected? So difference between infection and just regular healing. Infection would be super swollen, hot to the touch. It would be very red in just that general area. It would also be excruciatingly painful, even when you just kind of rub it like this. Those are all the beginning signs of infection. If you've had it this long, it just still leaks, chances are it's not infected. You just might need to downsize the jewelry. If you're sleeping on that side, that could be another thing too. Also the quality of jewelry. Maybe seek out a reputable piercer in your area to just take a quick look at it, just to kind of get an in-person point of view.
It's the jewelry.
Could be the jewelry.
At this point, it's the jewelry. You either rather downsize or go bigger or change something up.
Okay, and then that tragus piercing that was irritated, the double one is pierced at a bit of an angle. Maybe see another piercer or your piercer that did it and see what you need to do from there. Latia's Lover 97. I was wondering, I was trying to figure out what size post I need for a flat back stud on an earlobe. Do I just use a caliper on my ear to find the thickness length I need, or is there something else?
A lot of times, just go to a piercer. They're going to be able to find the size for you. If you're using a caliper, the caliper can actually pinch your ear and you can make it seem skinnier than it actually is. It should not distort the tissue. The gem or the bead and the disc should be pretty much flush with just a hair of a bit of movement. Because when you lay down, there's blood flow to the head and things do swell up a little bit, so you need to accommodate for that.
Exactly. We got Chris Gallegos here. How common is it to not have proper anatomy for a guiche piercing? Also, how bad does it hurt to re-pierce a nipple? Love you both and the channel. Flying to Vegas in September, hoping to book. Ooh, we would love to see you. That'd be so cool.
I'm curious, did you talk to a piercer and they said you don't have the anatomy, or you're guessing you don't have the anatomy? Because a guiche piercing is behind the scrotum and it's like that taint area. It's like that flap of the skin. But a lot of times it goes up against the back side of the scrotum. So if the tissue is really, really tight under there, it might not work and you might have to go closer to the scrotum. But honestly, I've never turned down someone for a guiche piercing.
Me neither.
Because they didn't have the right anatomy. Some people have come in and said they want a vertical guiche, and I won't do that. But a normal anatomy, you're probably okay. It just might not be in the exact spot you wanted it.
Yep.
I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. But I'm not saying it's not possible, but you know, there's also a lot of piercers who are really intimidated by guiche piercings.
Yeah.
And they might just say, no, you don't have the right anatomy because I don't want to do that stuff. Which sucks, you know. If you're a piercer, be a piercer.
Oh, I like this comment from Digit K, the same one about the Prince Albert piercing. I had my PA done at an APP shop, I think the only one in the city, and it was the same price as any other non-APP studio. She was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good. I love that. Sophia, hi. I've been thinking about getting a triple vertical helix for years now. However, I think I might not have enough cartilage on top. Are there similar piercings that could create a similar look? I mean, you could just get like a triple helix piercing done, you know, across the top there, and still wear really cool stuff in it. You can switch it out to rings, you know, you can do combos of studs and chains and all sorts of things.
Okay, so maybe in a situation like this, a vertical helix goes up and down. Turn the right way. It goes up and down. But a hidden helix kind of goes at a 45-degree angle. If you don't have the ridge for it, you might need to get pierced at that 45-degree angle, which means the gem would kind of point in a different direction. I don't know if you put a curved barbell in there, you could get it to kind of come down, but you're not going to be able to get that gem to point up. It's either going to point back or be a flat disc. So, yep.
Box of chocolates also. Is it too soon to reveal the address for the new location? It's been a long goal of mine to travel to Nevada to get pierced by Scott. I'm in WA. I want to say that's Washington.
WA is Washington,
okay.
Yes.
Because you're skilled in piercing inverted nipples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we can totally do that. Was it 3460?
3460 East Sunset.
Yep.
We are Sweet Eye.
We're getting pretty well lit up. If you get close to that mall, you're going to see us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gabby, hello. Is it normal for an anti-eyebrow to bruise? How do I tell if it's rejecting?
100%.
100%. It's right near that eye socket area, and we have a lot of little tiny blood vessels surrounding this area.
Capillaries,
not vessels, sorry.
It's pretty rare that you don't get a black eye from an anti-eyebrow, but it does happen once in a while. Eyebrows even get black eyes once in a blue moon. I mean, if you watch my channel, you've seen, like, when I had my 6 gauge, man, did I have some shiners.
Oh, yeah.
Woo. Yeah, it looked bad. But anyways, black eyes, totally common for an anti-eyebrow piercing. Yep.
Natasha Gavin, how has piercing aftercare changed over the years? Oh God, it's changed so much in the last couple of decades. You know, they used to tell you to use like antibacterial soap and sea salt soaks and Q-tips and, you know, all sorts of other things, and soak it in shot glasses with sea salt soaks. And we just don't do that anymore. And now less is more. You got to let your body kind of do its own thing. Don't bring too much attention to it, because then that's when your body kind of attacks it more.
We overdid it in the back of the day.
Way overdid it back in the day, thinking like, oh, we needed to do all this crazy stuff to heal this, you know, thinking
And our
salt
body
water
does all the work. We shouldn't have to do it.
No, exactly.
We were getting soap,
It's
rotating it
changed
back
dramatically.
and forth 3-4 times a day, and it's like less is more. Just keep the crusties off there and let your body do its thing.
Exactly.
Yep. The sea salt soaks, in my opinion, were not bad.
No, I mean, and soaking in sea,
is no one does it right.
They don't dilute the salt properly. You have to use, what is it, like 3 tablespoons in a gallon of distilled water.
No. That's completely wrong. You were never supposed to pre-mix the whole gallon, because bacteria and stuff can grow
Yes,
inside
no,
it.
I know.
It needs to be
But I'm saying
one-time mix. So you mix 1/4 teaspoon per 8 ounces of water.
Okay.
But you're supposed to also use a sterile cup. So most people were using just stuff that out of
Like a shot glass or a
There's
coffee
other
mug.
things in there. Then you're using normal water when it's supposed to be filtered or distilled
water.
Yeah. So I mean, that's where if you didn't measure right, you didn't use the right water, you didn't have the cup clean enough, and you weren't actually soaking it, you know, it wasn't going to work the same way.
Yep.
Everyone just guessed and caused more problems.
Or they were putting way too much salt, and then like someone comes in, their ear is like crystallized, like chunky salt all over your jewelry. Oh
Yep.
God.
Let me guess. You're guessing with the salt.
Let me
aren't you? Not
guess.
measuring.
You're doing sea salt soaks. Chip Douglas, thanks for the heads up. I'm neither an anorexic nor a vegan. LOL. I'll get my grub on beforehand. Smart choice.
Smart move.
Smart move, my friend.
Yeah.
Sunflower 666. I'm going to Vegas next month. I hope to come and get pierced by you while I'm there. You
We
totally
hope
should.
you do.
Totally should. It would be so much fun. Angela 21 something 5999. Hello, it's been a long time. My fresh second lobe piercings are now fully healed and with rings in.
Nice.
Woohoo. Love
Hey,
that for you.
Back to Chip Douglas. Is this going to be your first APP?
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Because I think you guys
Have I met
apprenticeship
Chip
last year. He's
in
been to our
person?
shop 2 or 3 times now.
I don't think I've
yeah.
met Chip in person. Only talked to you through here.
Yeah.
Or wait,
You might have
did
seen
you
him.
come by last year when we were upstairs? I can't remember.
Did his nipples.
Nipples.
Nipples. Sorry.
Chips.
Chip has
Nipples.
nipples pierced.
Jose Ramiro. Hi there. Hello.
Hi.
Digit K. Awesome. Thank you so much. A quiet guy. Scott, is there a piercing that you have done that you will never do again?
Yes.
What
An
piercing?
armpit piercing.
Oh my God. Doesn't she still have it though?
No, you're thinking of someone else. This guy back in the day wanted everything in the TV's backwards, so I'm just like, I can't. Yeah, I still grabbed the wrong side. But you know, like the corner, the pit of the arm right here, like he already had way too many piercings on his face, and his job said I'm not allowed to have any more facial piercings. So I was just like, he's like, I don't know what else to do, and he's like, can you just like pierce my armpit? There's a bunch of loose skin here. So we did some curved barbells there back in the day, and it didn't work out very well.
You were like, oh, this is going to be cool.
No, I was just like, are you sure, dude? You're like, you use deodorant and you're sweating there.
Right.
It's like, this is not going to be. He's like, I just need a new piercing and I can't have them on my face. I'm like, okay. Pretty sure they didn't heal.
All right.
So, yes, the answer is yes. I wouldn't do that again.
Ooh, we got Mononoke Mar in here. Hey, dude. Woo, made it. So excited for the new shop to open. Can't wait to make it over there for new piercings and jewelry. Love you guys. We love you so
too.
much.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for being my friend. Miss
Just so
Chocolate.
you guys know, I
hey,
want to say
girl.
this. If you don't know Kelsey by now, in the shop, we hear her sing all day long. And she doesn't quiet it down at all. Like, she'll be in the back of the office and we can hear her just belting away. She loves to sing. Thank God she has a good voice.
God.
Yeah.
My daughter is becoming the same way, and I love that because, like, now we'll watch, like, music. I'm a musical kid. I was super into theater and choir. Took choir my entire life. And Yeah, my daughter she's going to be the same way, totally. She's super into Wicked right now, which is like one of the greatest musicals ever, like originally. But the new one that came out, oh, it's so good. Defying Gravity is my daughter's favorite song. It's so great. We were just singing it in the bathroom and I recorded it. I'll have to post it or something because it's really cute. Janelle Danzin, thank you guys. We got Miss Chocolate in here saying thank you. Jose Romero. Another question. I have my nipple pierced, but can I use to put on them while I go for a run? The sweat makes me hurt a little. Can you, so I'm going to assume that you're asking if you can have the jewelry in when you run. Yes, you can. I mean, maybe try changing your jewelry or wearing something like maybe an undershirt.
If you're wearing rings, I have large gauge rings, and my rings can hurt a little bit if I'm running or something. But barbells hold it more secure. Yeah. The other thing is if they're newer piercings and you have crusties on there, clean them right before you go running. Yeah. Because you're moving, they might move back and forth.
Ripping the little crusties off.
That's probably where the pains come from. It's either the weight of the ring or the crusties. So clean it. The other thing too is, like you said, is a tighter top.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Put some pressure on there so it doesn't move around, doesn't get pulled inside.
All right, we are down to the last 3 questions at this point, and I'm pretty sure we'll just call it a day because that'll make it 1:30.
That's perfect.
Perfect. All righty. So, Box of Chocolates, thank you for the address. I want to try to plan my trip to Vegas next month. Been watching Scott's channel for years. Yes, Washington is Podunk, Washington. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you set up the appointment.
We would love to have you.
Set up the appointment because we're going to book out, and it's, piercing.vegas is our website.
Yep. And then Chip says, yeah, it'll be my first time attending. And yeah, I met Kelsey in person at this shop about 2 years ago. I bought a shitload of jewelry and got my conches done by Scott. Okay, now I remember.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yes.
Yay! And then Natasha says, love you guys. You're awesome. I hope that I can get some piercing suggestions from Scott during what I should get videos. You know, we got to bring some more videos back. So like what I should get pierced next, and, you know... We have plans. We have plans. Now that we got the new shop settled.
You know what's really scary?
Huh?
My inbox is completely full of pictures of people who want me to do that. And it's like, I don't even know how many thousands there are. We might have to do random or...
I was going to say, I could probably come by and just do like different files, you know, put them into different files. That way we can start there.
It's so many. It's so many.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You're going to see a lot more of me. I know I've said that in the past, but the shop's built out. I'm only piercing a couple days a week, and I'm going to focus everything on this. It's going to be so much fun. I've got new ideas.
Yep.
A new video guy, new everything.
A quiet guy. Had a great time today. So happy to see you guys back. We are so happy to be back.
Thanks for being here.
We can't wait to start doing this even more again. You know, I know we were doing it like every other week, and then it got down to once a month, and then we just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. So we're super happy to be back.
For those of you who don't know, I've been working on this move for the shop for over a year. Yeah. It's been a nightmare. I've gone through so many general contractors, so many problems. We get the shop built out, and all of a sudden, we need new AC in this place. We need to rip out the ceiling and do this again. It's been one thing after another, and the fact that this is almost done, you know,
huge weight.
I know y'all can't see in my humidor, but I have a Cuban Monte Cristo cigar that is about to be smoked in a day or two. As soon as we get the approval, I'm lighting that bad boy. It's been waiting to be lit. I'm such a cigar connoisseur.
He's a cigar guy.
And it's just like, my mouth is watering.
This is his prize.
About it, and that's my prize to open the shop, and I almost get to smoke my Cuban cigar. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Any more here?
Let's see here. Digital K, thanks for the great. Yeah. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thanks for the great stream. Shame I showed up a little bit late. It's okay. You made it, and you asked a lot of great questions. We appreciate you coming back here.
And for those of you who are late, go back to the beginning of the stream when this gets reposted, and you're going to see the video of our shop.
Oh, John says the most beautiful and the most handsome hosts. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Love you. And then we do have 2 more questions. I don't know if you want me to ask them to answer. But all right, last couple of questions. We do have about 4 minutes. So, Miss Chocolate Divine, another question. I got my doth piercing years ago, and it left a bump, which is gone. What causes the bump? Can I prevent it?
The bump you're seeing is something called the fistula, the tube of scar tissue. Sometimes it gets extra irritated, especially if you're wearing earphones, earbuds, things that go inside your ear. If it's not being irritated, the bump generally goes down. But like an earlobe piercing, like if you don't have earrings in and you pinch it, you feel that hard bump on the inside. That's the fistula, the tube of scar tissue. Sometimes it's bigger, sometimes it's less, but a lot of times earphones and earbuds will cause excessive scarring, and that's why you have the bump. So you need
Could
to
be the jewelry.
avoid that. Yeah, if the jewelry's too small, too big, or if you have a curved barbell. Dots are not designed for curved barbells. They're designed for rings. Do not wear a curved barbell. I know it's like it's more hidden in a way, but no, it turns backwards. That causes the curvature to go from this direction into that direction, which my arm hurts just trying to do that, which means a bump would go. Wow, I got locked up. That was weird.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
We got Pearl Fan here. Stretched my rook up to an 8 gauge successfully and did not ruin it thanks to y'all's advice.
You're very welcome.
Heck yeah, 8 gauge rook.
So jealous.
That's crazy.
Des is going to do my rooks at 10 gauge here soon.
That's crazy.
I'll probably stretch them too. You know, that's the first cartilage piercing I ever saw stretch. A kid came in one time, and this was
a rook?
Yes, no, a rook in the mid-90s, and he had a 2-gauge curved barbell in his rook. And he's like, yeah, I need some new jewelry. And I was just like, you can't do that. And he's like, why not? I did. And I was just like, you can't stretch cartilage. He's like, I did. And then I decided to stretch my tragus, and then I broke my tragus.
Oops.
So be easy on your feet.
Yep.
It's popping out. All right.
Miss Chocolate says, thanks
so
again,
awesome.
you guys. So
Thank
glad
you.
to see y'all. Great live. And then last but not least, we got Nick. Hey, last time I asked Scott on a date, how is he so open to marriage now to someone else already?
I'm a player.
Player Scott. Awesome. On that note.
I gotta go hit the off button. In the
Yeah.
meantime, while I'm doing that, make sure you hit the like,
Hit
you
the
finish
subscribe.
words.
And keep putting holes in your body. We love you guys, and we will see you again soon. Can't wait to open. We might be back next week for another live just to update you guys on opening the shop.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.